go again. So, they can be shown in many different ways, modeling algebraic equations. So, this one says 6x plus 5. So, the first thing we need to do is equal to 15. I'm sorry for those in the recording, but we already went through this, then we had a fire drill, and now we're going to start again. So, what's the first thing we have to do when we solve equations in our calculator? Set your windows. So, you need to go to Windows. And hopefully it was reset the last time it was used. If you go to Windows, what does X minimum need to be set at? Negative 100. What about X maximum? 100. Then we've got a 1. Y minimum is negative 100. And Y maximum is 100. Okay? So we're going to hit second and quit and get out of there. We're going to hit Y equals. We're going to do 6x plus 5, and under y2, we are going to do 15, and we are going to do what next? Graph. And then we're going to wait for what? 2 lines. Once we get 2 lines, then we're going to hit what? Trace 5, enter, enter, enter. We find out that it is x equals 1.6 repeating. Okay? Now, we are not going to solve all these because of the fire drill. I don't have time, but we are going to say what they are. Okay? And then you're going to practice solving when you do your practice. All right? So, number 2. What do we see here? No. We see negative 3 how many times? 10 times. If we didn't know what that was, what we would do is negative 3 times 10, and we would find out that it's negative 30. So this side has negative 30. This part of a balance scale, because that's what this is, represents the equals, but there's not generally an equal sign there. So you just have to know that that is where the equal sign is. Then what do we see over here? And are they positive or negative? Positive, 5x. And so then you would just simply put that in your calculator, and I can tell you right now that answer is negative 6, but we don't need to go there because we're going to try and get through this so you have time for the activity. All right, down here, what do we see? Positive what? You see 10 positive signs. Those are your ones, okay? So that means you've got 10. Okay? Then you see how many? 2. And are they positive? So plus 2x is equal to, what's over here? 2 plus 4x. And it's as simple as that. Now, if these x's were negative, they would have a negative sign in them. If the constants, which is your whole number by itself without a variable, if they were negatives, then they would have negative signs instead of plus signs, okay? So let's flip the page. Number 4. Another way to represent, and this one's not as clear, long blocks are known as x's, okay? Short blocks are constants, all right? So here we're seeing, and if they didn't write the x's, that would tell me that that is what? 2x, okay? Here I have how many ones? 2. They're positive, so plus 2 is equal to, now here's a little tricky. They've given you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 positives. And how many negatives? 2. So that would be 6 subtract 2, which is what? 4. So there you go, and there's your equation. Okay? Today, you have a set of cards, and you are going to be given one of these, a balanced recording sheet. Okay? Now, some people are doing this and not, okay? You want to put this away, okay? I wouldn't, and you can throw your binder on the floor because you really want room to work, okay? So all you're going to have is this and your pencil and your calculator. And what I would suggest, you notice that it's 1 through 16, okay? My sheet is 1 through 16, and so will yours be. I'll bring it to you in just a minute. Please pay attention. What I'd like to see you do is line these out in order from 1 to 16, okay? And you might make 2 rows because that works better, all right? And you're going to line all these out, and then you should be able to line the answers or the equation out. And you should be able to match them up. In other words, number 1 says what?
4x equals to 2x plus 2.
So you should be able to find a card that matches what that equation says. I'm sorry, this is not auto-locked, okay? And then you would go and you would write that equation on the part that says equation here. You would write 4x is equal to 2x plus 2. Then you would throw these into your basket and get rid of them. And then you would put that in the calculator and write your solution. Okay? And I apologize about this focus issue. So you would put that in your calculator and get your solution. Now, you guys in this class still have almost 30 minutes. All right? So you should have enough time to do this. All right? Now, listen to this. You need to first off, okay, and I'm going to turn this recording off while I say this because I don't need everybody in the world to hear